Hare Krishna. Hope the screen is visible to all and I'm audible there.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you very much for taking out your precious time Sunday morning. Let us start our session by prayers to Shri Shri Radha Govinda and seeking blessings from our Guru Parampara. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Chakrapa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Guru Maharaj ki Jai Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatariне Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Let us continue our discussion for chapter 10. So let us quickly have a quick recap from what we learned from our previous session, and then we will move on with this our further discussion of chapter 10. So who is to add points? Any quick points from your what you remember from last class? Hare Krishna. Jyoti Mataji, you want to add anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
I find it very difficult to summarize, Prabhuji. I am
Some
just
any quick points, whatever you remember. You need not have to summarize the entire chapter. 1 or 2 points, whatever you remember, you can add. So it is for the benefit of everybody in the class.
It is difficult for me, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji, no problem.
Hare
Anybody
Krishna,
else
Prabhuji.
wish to take a
Hare
chance?
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Yeah, basically, till chapter 9, basically, Krishna was telling everything to Arjuna regarding how to engage his mind and always be thinking about him. Then Lord is so much merciful that even without asking any question in this particular chapter, Krishna further enlightens him regarding the about him. So wherein from the first verse itself, now he is telling him that now I will tell you the deep of the deepest knowledge. In further verses he is discussing with him. So he says, not even the gods, not even the rishis, not even the kumaras, not even the yogis know my origin. It is only he who knows his origin. No one knows his start or his end. Only he knows it. fools like us say that, oh, Krishna was a normal human being and he took he took basically birth in a family like we take birth in the family, but actually it's not that. It was basically the devotion and dedication of Yashoda Maya and Nanda Maharaj, due to which he came to them to give us the knowledge. If in further verses, he gives us basically the points what should be the good qualities of a good devotee. That is, he should be intelligent, he should have knowledge, he should be freedom for all doubts and delusions, and he should control his mind. He should be always happy. Basically, if in the in the morning, if we ask somebody how are you, he will say, oh, good, I'm good. Or if he is much more feeling better, he'll say, oh, I'm feeling great. What is what So actually, people who come in the basically the devotional services, if really you want to ask them, are you happy? If he says, yeah, I'm happy, that means he is really moving towards the devotional services and he is enjoying his life like anything. So
Yes.
these are the things which he discussed about there, and then he says that you should never be depressed, and you should never think of birth and death. You should not have fear. You should be fearless. You should do some sort of charity, and these qualities he says about this. And then he also says in further verses, he is the oldest creation of this universe. Basically, he is the source who created everything in this universe, whether it is demigods, yogis, sages, we also, our forefathers also. Everything is created by him only. That's why we follow the tradition in Hinduism that we basically pay respect and do prayers for mercy of our ancestors, our demigods, our sages, and our yogis also. Even for our teachers also, we demand mercy from Lord Krishna because he is the source who has created all of them.
Right, bro.
So a person will be satisfied when he is 24 and 7, just chanting the holy name of Krishna. Then
Thank
only
you.
he will be totally satisfied. And fools like us, even though I was given basically a Bhagavad Gita gift by my father-in-law, it was there in the Almara for 5 to 10 years, and then one fun morning I got it out. It was all mercy of Lord Krishna. Unless His mercy is not present, we won't be able to do anything in life. Basically, from 8th verse till 11th verse, it is the creamest of the creamest of all the basically shastras, including Bhagavad Gita, and that's why it is called as Chaturshloki Gita. The Chaturshloki Gita, that means if you recite all these four and if you fully concentrate and devotionally read these four verses, the entire Gita you can understand very easily. And some sages also say that if you read them daily, your life will be happy, not good and great. That is the thing what I have understood.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
Prabhuji. Thank you. Very nicely
from
summarized.
my
Ambika Mataji, you want to add anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
In the last class, you summarized the qualities of a pure devotee. About 16 qualities you had discussed. And then you told about the TAC formula for a successful relationship, that is tolerance, acceptance, apologize, and compromise. And then how the 25 patriarchs of living entities were created from Krishna. How Krishna is a Prapitamaha and Brahma is a Pitamaha. Then about the Chatur Sloka from Sloka 8 to Sloka 11, which is the entire, where the entire Bhagavad Gita is summarized. And then you told about the Bhaktilada beach, how the watering of the Bhaktilada beach is by the chanting of the holy name and how it can reach to the lotus feet of Krishna. Then you told about the 3 yogas, that is Karma Yoga, where we know that Krishna is a supreme Lord, but we are addicted to the fruits of labor. And the Jnana Yoga, where we know that Krishna is a Supreme Lord, but we take pleasure in mental speculation. And that is the way we are trying to understand Krishna. And the topmost yoga is Bhakti Yoga, where we are in Krishna consciousness and we are rendering devotional service to the Lord.
Very
That is
nicely,
all.
very nicely. Yes, very nicely summarized, Mataji. All key points you said. The most important takeaway for me also was we are all here in this class because of little Shraddha we have in the Supreme Lord. Now, how do we fix up in the Shraddha and progress? What is the process to progress in our Shraddha? The first stage of Bhakti was that watering process. This Bhakti Lata Beach, this creeper grows, pierces through the material sky as well as spiritual sky and reaches to the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, holding which we can reach Krishna. That process is chanting of holy name. So thank you for bringing up that particular very important point. And Chatur Shloka, as Prabhu said, the most important and the summary of Bhagavad Gita. So the Shloka 8, Ham Sarvasva Prabhu, Krishna is telling, I am the source of everything. And then Shloka 9, Mat Chitta Mad Gata Prana. This talks about the symptoms of the pure devotees, which we discussed last time. And Shloka 10, Tesam Satata Yuktanam. So for such a pure devotees, Krishna gives the intelligence to his devotees who can constantly engage in service of Krishna. And Shloka 11, Tesam Evanu Kampartam. So whatever ignorance we have, Krishna destroys by his mercy. So once that ignorance, the darkness is gone, the light, the knowledge with which we clearly fix up, we understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and we are the eternal servants of Krishna. So this is what we have learned, and from there we will move further. So before moving further, quick two important points I thought of sharing. One of the Prabhu asked me during this week, what is the significance of tilak and what is the significance of wearing kanti mala? So can anybody say in the class what is the significance? Quickly, we are already running late, so let us quickly we will summarize these 2 points. Yeah, please, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
As far as I have seen, the tilak represent the two long lines of tilak represents the legs of the Lord Krishna, and the one on the nose represents the tulsi leaf.
Yes,
So
Mataji.
it basically means it basically means that we have to always remember Krishna and surrender onto his feet. That is
Yes.
what I have known.
Correct.
And the kanti mala, it's like we consider our body as temple. So whatever we feed inside below the kanti mala should be pure. So there are few rules and regulations that we must follow before wearing kanti mala.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely said. So I discussed about 3P formulas, right? Anybody remember what were those 3Ps? For the success, 3P formula in Krishna consciousness.
Prabhuji, I remember only one: preaching, then that's it.
Yeah, so 3P.
Purification, pleasure,
Purification and
preaching.
pleasure of the Supreme Lord.
Yes, purification, preaching, and pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So even a simple tilak, what we are keeping, how can we connect this with 3Ps? We can see, as Mataji rightly said, these two lines are the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, and we are offering tulsi at the lotus feet of Krishna, and we are keeping it on our forehead. So we are surrendering with our forehead at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So by doing this, what is happening? We are rising in our realization that this body is not for our enjoyment. This body is a place where Krishna is residing, and we are surrendering at the lotus feet of Krishna. So that is our purification, right? And then when we are wearing a tilak, how are we preaching? Anybody looking at us, he remembers Krishna. He remembers Vaishnavas. Krishna is already there within our heart. We are forgotten because of our ignorance. So this dust is being wiped out, right? So somebody looking at us, remember Krishna. That way we are helping them to remember Krishna. That is preaching. So when we are surrendering to Krishna and we are helping other conditioned soul to remember Krishna, that pleases Krishna. So this is the practical application of wearing tilak. And Kantimala, Mataji already said that whatever we are eating below this neck, it should be purified, sanctified. What is that sanctified is the food offered to Krishna. Prasad we have to eat. One more analogy I will give you which can help you remember and encourage you to wear Kantimala or tilak is, what is the difference between a street dog or a pet inside the house? Both are dogs. What is the difference?
The collar,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
sorry.
Yes. So the pet dog has a collar. So that is this collar for us. The kanti what we are wearing. So we remember pet dogs has a master. Street dogs don't have any master. They are all roaming around doing all the sense enjoyment, eating all the shit, right? Without any regulation. But a pet dog has a master who always take care of this dog. Similarly, when we have surrendered to Krishna, this kanti remembers us that we have our master and I am not the sole enjoyer, independent enjoyer. I am always dependent on my master and my master will always take care of me. I am always loyal to my master. So this is the significance of having. And even it is said, I have heard from senior devotees, Yamadutas, Yama has given a special instruction to his Yamadutas that all those conditioned souls out there in this material world, whoever you see with tilak as well as kantimala, don't go close to them. Because they are the servants of the Supreme Lord. So when we leave our body, when there is a kantimala and tilak, even Yamadutas don't come to us. Many times, even in my initial days of Krishna consciousness, I was always reluctant to wear tilak or wear kantimala. Many times what we are always thinking is we are trying to live our life to satisfy others. Other day I was reading a quote where it is said that from 25 to 50 years, the prime year, we are always living to satisfy others. We are living thinking that what he is thinking about me. If I do this, what is he going to think about me? Only after once you reach 50 years after all this experience, then you realize that the other person never thought about me. He was busy in his own life. Only I was a fool. In my ignorance, I was thinking that that person is thinking about me. Nobody has thought about us. They are all busy in their own life. And we are trying to satisfy others who is not even thinking about us. This is the practical reality of our life. So with this lesson today, let us move further. The importance of tilak as well as kantimala. And as said, even Yamadutas don't come near to you. So start wearing kantimala and tilak. Don't worry about anything. Your chanting of holy names itself is purification. Once you are rising in your sadhana, rest everything is purified within us. So you can start wearing it. Right? Let us move further. First sloka for the day. Somebody can take up.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sarvam ittad ratam mane yan mam viddase Kesava nahi ta Bhagavan va yatyam vidur deva na vaha. O Krishna, I accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the god nor the demigods, O Lord, know they personally, know you personally, basically, he says. And basically, now I think he will be asking Krishna question after this.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare
So
Krishna.
here Arjuna is confirming that the person who is faithless and demonic nature cannot understand Krishna. Even the great sages and demigod has not completely understood Krishna. What to speak about the so-called scholars of modern days? Only by the grace and mercy of Krishna and our Guru, we will get that knowledge. This knowledge, Krishna says, it is a revealed scriptures. Our Guru says it's a revealed scripture. Only by the mercy of Krishna reveals us, not by our independent effort of reading scriptures. And how do we get this knowledge? As we discussed in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4.2, Evam paramparam praptim imam rajarshayo vidu. So getting this knowledge in disciplic succession through a bona fide sampradaya is very important than listening to any mental speculator out there. Many people will share, we can see a lot of videos coming on YouTube to suit their own style of delivering and their own mental speculation. To make it more interesting, they say something which is not in line to our shastras. We end up listening to that and we ourselves will get confused. So very important to stick to our disciplic succession. And once we understood this is the bona fide sampradaya, how do we approach the Supreme Master? That is, our mood is Bhagavad Gita 4.34. Tadvidi paripatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshantate jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. So here, the Guru, Jnaninas Tattva Darshinaha, he has already seen the absolute truth. So who can give us? Who has it? I cannot go and beg with the beggar, right? Similarly, we have to approach such a bona fide spiritual master and in a humble mood offering service, we have to seek the knowledge. That is the right way to gain this transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Now let's move to the next shloka. Somebody can read that.
Hare
Shloka.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Soyam evatmanatmanam vetatvam purushottama Pooda bhavena pudesha deva deva jagatpade. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, somebody can read the
Indeed,
English translation.
you alone know yourself by your own potencies, O origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, O supreme person, Lord of the universe. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. This is a very, very important shloka where Arjuna is describing all the qualities of the Supreme Lord, knowing which we have to follow the footsteps of great devotee like Arjuna. So here, Krishna has been referred to as Supreme Person, Purushottama. So we need to clear, this sloka makes it clear that Krishna is not just a Brahma Jyoti. Krishna has the supreme personality of Godhead. And even Bhagavatam confirms this. The sloka, chapter 1, canto 1, chapter 2, sloka 11. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnana advayam brahmeti paramameti bhagavaniti sabhyate. So God can be realized in three features. The Brahman feature, the Paramatma within, as well as the Bhagavan himself. That is why Arjuna is telling Purushottama. And Arjuna says, Prabhupada clearly says in the purport that even many liberated person cannot understand Krishna to be a Purushottama, and for that, the Supreme Person, for that reason, Arjuna addresses in this sloka that Krishna is Purushottama. And then it is said, the next is Bhuta Bhavana. What is this? So it says that yet one may not understand Krishna is the father of all the living entity. Krishna is the seed-giving father of all the living entities. So here Arjuna is confirming Bhuta Bhavana, which says Krishna is the supreme father. And then Bhuteshu, it says, still one may not understand that Krishna is the supreme controller. We are suffering in this material life because we are trying to control the situation. Many of my friends say that they are not able to sleep at night because of overthinking. What are you overthinking? You are trying to see, for a given situation, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or that person is doing this. We are just thinking about all those things. Once we surrender to Krishna, you stop overthinking. We can surrender to any difficult situation. We can say, Krishna, on my own strength, I cannot overcome this situation. You are the Supreme Father. Please help me in this situation. So that is why he said as Bhutesha. And Deva Deva. Many people are continue to worship demigods. Here, Krishna is saying, Arjuna is saying, Krishna is the Deva Deva. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. And then Jagatpate. What is Jagatpate? Krishna is the supreme proprietor of everything. All the demigods, all the living entities, everybody are servants of the Supreme Lord. So through these sloka, Arjuna is establishing the supreme truth that Krishna is the Samam Bonam. He is the source of everything, origin of everything, and is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the father of all the living entities. He is the Deva Deva, Jagatpate. All these things he's been told, and we also learned in chapter 5. Chapter 5, Shloka 29, Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Suhurdam Sarva Bhutanam Yatvamam Shantim Rachati. Knowing this, a living entity attain peace, that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, supreme controller, maintainer, and he is the supreme friend of all the living entity. Knowing Krishna is our friend, that gives us confidence to face any situation in our life. So it is only English translation. Somebody not comfortable reciting sloka can take up this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. How should I meditate on you? In what various forms are you to be contemplated, O blessed Lord? Tell me again in detail, O Janardana Krishna, of your mighty potencies and glories, for I never tire of hearing your ambrosial words.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, Arjuna is already satisfied, and now he is fixed that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Yeah, and by the grace of Krishna only we can move further. However, Arjuna is asking this question not only for himself but for the common men. And 10.17, we understand that the supreme personality of Godhead is covered by his Yogamaya potency. Only a surrendered soul, the devotees of the Supreme Lord, can understand Krishna. Yeah, and then Krishna's pastimes, the nectar, one who hears, who will never be tired of hearing. We have seen devotees, even in level 1 thing, we have seen devotees who have joining batch after batch, they continue to hear about the glories of Krishna. That way, they always try to remember the opulences of Krishna. So what we need to understand, all these things are all transcendental knowledge. This is not a mundane material stories. It is all transcendental, and one do not get bored listening to the glories of the Krishna. So here, the reason why Arjuna is asking is further elaborated, that Arjuna is asking, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satisfied hearing about you. What it is saying. And what is the advantage of hearing of Krishna's opulence? So it will help us to remember. We have learned already, when we are leaving this body, we have to remember Krishna. So hearing is one of the key process through which we can continue to hear and always think of Krishna. So these three slokas, so it is clearly saying here that for the sake of common people and for the sake of materialist, the atheistic people, because Krishna is the supreme authority. When the supreme authority says, even the atheistic people will start believing. And for his own personal absorption, he want to constantly remember Krishna. So Arjuna is asking to further elaborate and to taste the nectar. Tasting these pastimes of Supreme Lord is like a nectar, and he want to continue to listen to this. And now we are going to discuss in detail various opulences of Krishna in next sloka, next coming section D. So here the most important, Krishna describes the most prominent among his limitless, all-pervading opulences. Krishna, there is no limit for the opulences of the Supreme Lord. However, Krishna is telling for our benefit the prominent ones. So somebody can read this sloka.
Hare Krishna. Handate kadayikshya. Sri Bhagavanuvāca. Handate kadayikshami. Divyahyatma vibhūtayaha. Pradhanyada kuru sreshta. Nastyendo vistarasya me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother.
The Blessed Lord said, "Yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless." Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Krishna is telling my opulence is limitless, and he is going to tell the prominent. Why is telling the prominent? Because our senses are limited. With our limited senses, we cannot understand Krishna fully, and that is why Krishna is saying the word pradhanayat is very important, which says the principle, the very important opulences I will tell. Next sloka. Hare Krishna, somebody can try.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Aham atma gudakesha sarvabhutasya stithiha aham adischa madhyam cha bhutanam anta eva cha. Hare Krishna.
English translation, please.
Hare Krishna. I am the Supreme Soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So the Subala Upanishad, which says, Prakriti Adi Sarva Bhutantaryami Sarva Sheshicha Narayana. What does this mean is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is existing as a super soul in all manifested universe. And Krishna exhibiting all the opulences, vibhutis, for us to rise in our conviction and determination to surrender. Yeah. So moving further from Shloka 10.21 to 38, Krishna says various of his prominent opulences. So how do we understand this? What we need to understand now, whatever glorious, whatever magnanimous, whatever feels us happy, even when we are going for a vacation, a beautiful nature when we see, the first thing which we need to remember is this is Krishna. Yeah. Krishna, at neophyte level, we want to see Krishna in a Tribangi form, in a Archamurti form. But as we progress, everything which gives us pleasure, we remember that it is Krishna, it is Krishna's expansion, Krishna's energies. So let us see some of the prominent list captured in this chapter through this shloka. So the first, it says Adityas. So there are 12 Adityas, and Krishna says, I am the principal Aditya, that is, I am the Vishnu. And among the light, Krishna says, I am the sun. And Maruts, Marichi, that is, among the luminaries shining in the sky, it is sun. And there are 50 types of wind blowing in the sky. And the controlling deity of this wind is Marichi. And Krishna says, I am that. And among stars, I am the moon. Among the Vedas, I am the Samaveda and Samaveda. And among the demigods, I am the Indra. And among all the senses, I am mind. And what differentiates us from the body, dead body? It is the life force, the consciousness. Krishna says, I am that life force. And among Rudras, there are 11 Rudras. Among that, the prominent is Lord Shiva. So Krishna says, I am the Lord Shiva. And Yakshas and Rakshasas. Among Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Kuvera. And among various priests, the topmost is Brihaspati, and I am that Brihaspati. And among the warriors, the general in demigod is Skanda. And Krishna says, I am the Skanda. And among the various water bodies, the ocean, I am the ocean. So wherever we are seeing ocean, the first thing which should come to us is, this is Krishna. So that is how the opulence, we need to remember Krishna. And among the sages, I am Bhrigu. And among the sound vibration, the Om, Omkara, all the Vedas, all the mantras start with Omkara. So we need to realize Krishna says, I am the Om. And many mental speculators we have seen, they say that in Vedas there is no mention of Krishna. So Krishna is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. People do say like this. They are all ignorant people. So here, once you read Bhagavad Gita through a authorized disciplic succession, we understand that Omkara itself is Krishna. And my favorite, among the sacrifices, what is the sacrifice recommended in the Kali Yuga? Hare Krishna. Let us reinforce ourselves.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So for Kali Yuga, the
two more points I
Yagna,
want. This Yakshas and Rakshasas, Yakshas and Rakshasas, which is Kuvera, it means Kuber.
Yeah.
Okay. And Om is vibration. So
Sound
Om is basically Krishna's name itself.
Yes,
so any yajna which we are doing, any mantra which we are chanting, it starts with Om itself. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
so Krishna is everywhere.
Yes, Prabhuji. So Krishna is everywhere. That is the summary of what we are trying to understand. We discussed that Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar, and reading Bhagavad Gita, we understand among all the sacrifices for Kali Yuga, what is prescribed sacrifice is Sankirtana Yagna, Nama Sankirtana Yagna. So the chanting the holy name as well as Sankirtana, all these things is Krishna. And among immovables, Krishna says, I am the Himalayas. Among the trees is holy fig, Ashwatha tree. And among the sages of demigod, I am Narada. Singers of demigod, I am Chitraratha. Perfected being among the Siddhas, I am the Kapila. And Uchchaishrava as well as Airavata. So when the Samudra Mantana was done, the churning of sea, two animals have come out of that. That is Uchchaishrava as well as Airavata. So Krishna is saying, I am the Uchchaishrava among horses as well as I am the Airavata among the elephant. There are further qualities being discussed. That is, among men, I am the monarch. So king is the representative of Krishna. So that king is me. So the king is taking care of that particular kingdom, whereas Krishna is Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. And among weapon, I am the Vajrayuda. And among cows, I am Surabhi cow. Among procreator, I am the Cupid, Kandarpa. And among serpents, I am Vasuki. Among snakes, I am Ananta. And among aquatic deities, I am the Varuna. And departed souls, I am Aryama. So there are planets for Pitrulokas, ancestors, and presiding deity is Aryama, and I am the Aryama is what Krishna is saying. And dispenser of law, we discussed about Yama. So Krishna says, I am the Yama. And Daitya demons. Prahlada, though great devotee, he born in a Daitya family, but he's among the devotees, he says, I am Prahlada. So there are two sisters, Diti as well as Aditi. The son of Aditi are called Adityas, and the son of Diti are Daityas. So all the Adityas are the devotees of the Lord, and Daityas are atheistic people, but Prahlada is an exception where he born in a demonic family, but Krishna says, I am Prahlada among Daitya demons. And subduer, I am the time. Krishna says, Aham Kalosmi. This is again is very important. All the situation we are going through, time wears down all things in our material universe. Any difficult situation, any loved ones who leave us over a period of time, we tend to get along and we move on with our life, isn't it? So the time which is so important to clear our pain in the heart, the time is Krishna. Among beast, lion. Among birds, I am the Garuda. Among purifier, I am the wind. Wielder of weapon, I am Rama. And flowing in river, and the fishes, among fishes, I am shark. And the flowing river, Krishna says, I am Ganges. And creation, the beginning, end, middle, everything is Krishna. And among signs, spiritual signs of self, what is self? That I am not this body, I am the spirit soul. This is the spiritual signs we need to understand. And I am among the letters, I am Akara. And compound words, the dual words, like for example, Prabhupada says Ramakrishna. Though it looks one word, it's a dual word. So I am the dual word. And among creator, I am Brahma. There are many more in the list. Some more. So among women, woman is known for their fame, fortune, their ability for speech, memory, and women are very intelligent as well as faithful, and they are very patient. They do multiple role, and they are very patient and faithful for his partner. So that ability or that quality is me, is what Krishna is saying. And among hymns, I am Bruhat Sama. And among poetry, Gayatri Mantra. Krishna says, I am the Gayatri Mantra. Again, what we need to understand, one important thing about Gayatri Mantra is one must acquire the required qualities, and he should be perfectly situated to recite Gayatri Mantra. Today it has become a fashion. Even in our calling bell or in a car reverse parking, the Gayatri Mantra is Gayatri Mantra is played. Even me, before coming into Krishna consciousness, I used to recite Gayatri Mantra. And then having come listening to the senior Vaishnavas, reading to scriptures, we understand we are not qualified to recite such mantra. That is the beauty of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is absolutely no rules. Any time, even somebody who is eating meat, they can also chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The ladies during their monthly cycles also can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There is absolutely no rules and regulations. So you have to chant every time. Yeah. And among cheats, I am the gambling. We need to understand we can cheat ourselves, we can cheat the world, but we cannot cheat Krishna because he is the biggest cheater. Krishna says, Krishna bado chatur, you can't cheat Krishna. And among the strong, whoever consider they are strong, Krishna is the strength. And among descendant of Vrishnis, I am Vasudeva. Among Pandavas, Krishna is Arjuna. Among sages, I am Vyasa. And the list goes on. Among wise, I am the wisdom. Among the secrets, I am the silence. So what we need to understand is everything is Krishna, and all that which gives pleasure to us, we need to realize that this is Krishna and this is the expansion of Krishna. It is purely Krishna's mercy I'm getting this. So that way we need to fix up. So the entire thing is summarized, whatever we discussed in this slide. Demigods, the chief of demigod Indra is Krishna. Adityas, I'm the Aditya, Vishnu. Among Rudra, Shiva. So everything is discussed. So what we need to understand from this particular thing is that Krishna is everywhere. Though Krishna resides in Goloka, Vrindavana, but through his expansions, he is everywhere. He is the source of all that we can know. So we will move further. Next shloka.
Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am generating the seeds of all existence. There is no being, moving or unmoving, that can exist without me. O mighty conqueror of the enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestation. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So through this shloka, we understood the omnipotency feature of Krishna, that Krishna is everywhere. He is the source of everything. He is the cause of everything. Without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist. Even a blade of grass do not move without the supreme will of the Supreme Lord. That is the potency which we will not be able to understand. We are not ready to understand. Our senses are limited. So how can we know about this? By our internal purification. Until and unless anartha nivrutti happen, that ruchi, that bhava, the nista don't come. Without that, the Krishna prema do not come. So what is the starting point of all these things? We discussed little Shraddha and then Sadhu Sangha. Through Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. Bhajana Kriya is the chanting, Sankirtana, listening, reading. All these things come under that. Through that we purify to know the unlimited opulences of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Let us move to the next sloka. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yadyad vibhutimad sattvam shrimad urjitame bhava tattad eva vaga chatvam mama tejo sa sambhavam. Know that all beautiful, glorious and mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So all that glorious, all that beautiful, which is existent, we need to understand it is just a spark of the Supreme Lord. Whether it be in the spiritual world or the material world, anything extraordinarily opulent should be considered as a representation of the Lord's opulence. One example which quickly comes to my mind is, if we need to understand, Krishna says, I am the taste of the water. We are drinking water, we have never realized the taste. We have never realized that this is Krishna. If we have to realize this, we have to be stranded for many days in middle of sea, nowhere to go, and you are thirsty. Water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Yeah, so that is the taste of Krishna. Next sloka.
अथवा बहुनैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवर्जुना विष्टाभ्यम् इदं कृष्टम् एकं सेन स्थितो जगत.
Thank you, Mataji. Somebody can read this.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here we understand from this picture also that Krishna is residing in every living entity's heart as a super soul, right from the creator Brahma to the smallest of ant. Krishna is residing. We are all attached to our bodily relationships, our family, our parents, our wife, our kids. Krishna, we have learned that we have taken millions of births. Krishna is the only eternal relative of us who is residing in our heart and continuously, gradually guiding us to rise to next level, next level, next level, and brought us to this level where we are now learning about this transcendental knowledge, and we understood Krishna as the Supreme Lord. I am the part and parcel of Krishna. I am not this body, I am the spirit soul, and the purpose is to engage in devotional service and fix up by chanting the holy name, by taking shelter of Guru Parampara, association of devotees, and through this we can go back. So we have come to this level. Now, how many will progress further? Only one person can decide that. Who is that?
Lord Shri Krishna.
No, Mataji, even Krishna cannot decide this.
We ourselves, Prabhuji.
Yes. So the free will for you to further continue, or you think that I know it all, enough. You can stop it here. That free will is with us. Krishna do not interfere in that free will. You can see as we progress, now we are in important section. We are moving to the 10th chapter. We have covered 60%, and I see so many people could not progress. Very few are holding on to it. And it is not going to be easy for you all. Devi Isha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya. Maya is working overtime. What does a jailer do when he know that a prisoner is trying to escape his jail? He will have more spotlight on such prisoners, right? That is what is on you. But Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyante Vasudaiva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabham. Such Sudurlabha conditioned soul can break free who has surrendered, saying Vasudeva Sarvamiti. So hold on to it. It is not easy. Hold on to it. All of you should complete level 2 and further progress. This is a journey. Attaining Krishna is the destination, but this process itself, when we are following these instructions of our acharyas, Krishna is already with us. We are already in the transcendental platform. We are already in a spiritual platform. Otherwise, we will continue to suffer in this material world. And Srila Baladeva Vidyabhushan, the great Acharya in our disciplic succession, concludes his commentary of this chapter by saying that Krishna's potent energy, even the powerful sun gets the power from the Krishna, from his effulgence. And Krishna's partial expansion, the whole world is maintained. Just by partial expansion of Krishna, the entire world is maintained, and only that Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is worshipable. So surrender at the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. So we will end this chapter by saying, Sarva dharmam parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tam sarva papebhyo moksha swami mashuchaha. Krishna says, Mam ekam sharanam vraja. So surrender only to me and I will deliver you of all the sinful reactions and I will deliver from your conditioned state and take you back to the abode of the Supreme Lord, Goloka Vrindavana. So with this, we will end our session today. Thank you very much. So as importantly said, please hold on to it. Chanting gives you that strength to hold on. I am so happy. More than 50% of the participants in this group have already reached 16 rounds. Another 25, that is more than 75% of the devotees are chanting more than 8 rounds. This is very, very unique group. I have not seen many groups who are so sincere and dedicated, and you are those sincere and dedicated devotees. Continue to hold on to it, continue to rise. And another 25% devotees I have personally reached out and many have started rising. I can see very beautiful progress, and by the end of 18 chapter, we still have about 8 weeks time. Every week, if you can rise one round, by end of this level 2 itself, most of you will reach minimum standards what is set by our acharyas. So with that request, continue to put your effort, continue to hold on to this, continue to come to classes, learn, apply this knowledge in your life and progress in Krishna consciousness. So with this, I will end my session. So any quick questions from the chapter we can discuss, and any quick realization we can discuss for a couple of minutes and we can end our session. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam to all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Nowadays, I feel that people, whatever they do, they think it's all God's will, but they don't know that is their own free will if they try to cheat or try to be good. This is one realization that I got today after listening.
Yes, Mataji. So we continue to complain Krishna for our situation, but we need to understand we desired that and Krishna sanctioned it. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. When a baby keeps crying for chocolates, what does father do? Okay, give one to him. So we need to be very careful what we are asking to the Supreme Lord.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you, all the devotees, all the assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhasya cha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, 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 jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.